But what I wanted to talk about tonight came from another student email. The fellow who is our sponsor in Washington, D.C., a guy named Gerard Ender, was actually a student of mine who came about 3 years ago and took class with me in New York. And I can't tell you exactly how he'd heard about it, but he had, and he thought it would be good for him, and he showed up in New York. And he said to us after completing it, "I want to bring you to Washington." Now, if I had 50 hands, I wouldn't have enough fingers to count the number of times somebody says, "I want to bring you to Miami, I want to bring you to Mexico City, I want to bring you to Berlin." And then when they get involved in that and they realize what's really involved in doing that, it becomes a bigger task than they can fit into their lives. So I've gotten to the point that I go, "That's great, I'd love to come to Berlin, let me know and I'll do whatever." But Gerard delivered. Gerard actually has brought us to Washington, and now we're going for our third time. But Gerard wrote to me another email that I want to read to you, and it was really the thing that created tonight. And here's what he wrote. Yesterday, I awoke in the middle of the night, got up, and decided to use the quiet time to finally view your follow-ups that had been online for a while and I hadn't had the time to see. The one on motivation technology, signature performance, extreme performances of note with your guest, Terry Schreiber. Man, do I wish I was closer to get these ongoing supports live every month. Your comment on the fact that casting directors saying no all the time and how it affects them was enlightening, even though I have always conducted myself in that way, and just know that no is part of the journey. However, hearing their perspective now, I can consciously act upon the burden that they must feel by rejecting people all the time. So thank you for letting me share that. And then he goes on. And now here's my real question. A week after my recent callback with Tony Scott, having had a great time with him and really enjoying his demeanor, I found out that I didn't get the part in his movie. It was disappointing. The next day, I had an audition for Paul Haggis' film that'll be shooting in Pittsburgh starring Russell Crowe. I read for my role in Philly, and the casting director told me not to leave town until I'd heard from her because she would need to see me back after what the LA office would say after seeing my video. I called her a couple of times during the day from my other audition at 2 o'clock, and she kept telling me I was still in the running. Finally, I checked into a motel because it was 9 p.m. and I was too tired to drive back to D.C. I phoned her from my motel, and then she relayed the following. Your read of the role was different than everyone else. Everyone else read it in a pretty standard way, but you brought a truly fresh perspective to it that no one else had, and in my opinion, you were the best read of the entire session. The LA casting director saw your video and agreed with me and wanted to call you back, but unfortunately, the director then went with someone else. I conveyed that that was the director's prerogative, in parentheses, bastard. And I asked her who the LACD was. She identified, name withheld. I thanked her for telling me this, and she said she and I have a very good relationship, and I appreciated knowing that I was also in the knowledge bank of LA casting director, name withheld, and that she thinks of my work favorably. That seemed like a success to me. Then, my insecure actor demons started playing their number.